Yo, brother, it's time for us to start talking the real, man. We've been sugarcoating too much. We've got to start calling everything out for what it is.
Hey guys, I'm here with the Commander Pro. Thanks again, Jason. I really appreciate it. Having fun with this wheel. And yesterday I had a nice afternoon ride. Went down to visit Roger's place. It was a 49-mile round trip. Probably most of the straightaways when I was riding fast, I was going in the high 20s, maybe 30 miles an hour max. It's kind of my comfort zone. Had 45% battery at the end, which I'm pretty happy with. And charged it up fully last night. And let me pull you and show you something. Okay, let's connect up to the wheel. 100% charged, 132.9 volts. A little while ago it was 133 volts. The power distribution inside this board and all the Begode wheels, unfortunately, right now continually drain your batteries. That's unfortunate. Back in the old days, you could leave a wheel left alone for a few months and come back and it would be fully charged. And that is no longer the case. Anyway, I've never gotten this wheel charged above about 133, 133.1, 0.2 maybe volts. Never 134.4 volts. So I'm going to open up this wheel and try a little experiment just to prove what is causing this low charge condition. I have disconnected the power to the control board, turn on the wheel so it's fully discharged. You know, I'm trying to remember to wear these nitrile gloves. They're fully insulating, and so you could actually just poke around at high voltage and you're not going to get shocked. So good practice for me to do more, and you too, I suppose. So I'm going to measure the voltage out of the battery packs here. 133 volts. Right on the mark. It was 132.9 volts and the wheel was on, so it's draining just a tiny bit of a load. So this just shows you that the voltage measurement that the wheel is outputting to your app is accurate, at least for this specific wheel. So I don't feel the need to actually disconnect any of the individual battery packs to check their voltage. Okay, what am I going to do about this? Well, I'm not going to fix the ultimate issue because I have a fix, but this is not my wheel, so I'm not going to actually implement the fix, but I'm going to demonstrate what the issue is. And it has to do with this power distribution board that Begode is using on all the wheels now. It manages the distribution of power within the wheel and the charging and discharging of the batteries. And it is limiting the top end voltage that gets in your wheel. What I'm going to do as an experiment using this adapter cable, thanks Roger, I'm going to plug this in. This will drive directly into the batteries. And now I can connect I'm going to connect the stock charger into here, and I'm going to charge the batteries. And then we'll see if I can get up to 134.4 volts, which I should be able to. Charger's plugged in, and here we go. Should start charging. There we go. Charger's running. Since it's pretty close to fully charged, this shouldn't take long, and I'll be back momentarily. All right, the charger stopped after about 20 minutes or so. And let's see what the voltage is now. 133.9. Interesting. You know, actually I thought this charger that I'm using, the stock charger, was putting out 134.4. Must be one of my slightly under voltage chargers. Because the same charger will charge up a Master Pro to supposedly 135 volts. So that tells me that the Master Pro doesn't have a good analog to digital converter in it, but we'll get to that in another video. So let's connect up the Roger charger to this and pump in a true 134.4 volts. Okay, I have the Roger charger set up. Should be the correct voltage. It says 135, but I measured the output. It's 134.4 volts. So the display rounds up. I set the current back to no current. I connect up the charger. Whew, got some power in there. Not sure why. Got that shock, but oh, I know why. Because this port, since I'm bypassing the power distribution board, it's essentially a live connection. So back to the old days where you can get a shock, not a shock, a discharge, spark. All right, let's add some current. So 2.4 amps, that's the max that this guy can output at this stage, because remember, we're very close to the end of charging on the wheel. So the BMSs in the battery packs will limit how much current they can draw. And you can just watch this display and it'll eventually go down to 0.2 volts, something like that, which represents the minimal current that this charger is consuming, my version of the Roger charger. So when it gets down to something like that, I'll know it's fully charged, and then we can pop this off and check to see what the voltage is. So you can see it's already dropping 2.07, 2.02, 1.97. So we're going to get this guy up to 134.4 volts. Down to 0.24 amps, and that's about as low as it's going to get. That's actually how much current this guy's drawing, just the charger itself. So anyway, I can disconnect this guy, and let's see what it measures. Okay, let's see what we have now in the batteries. 134.4, right on the money. All right, let's reconnect the control board. A little spark, and we'll turn on the wheel. Okay, wheels on. Let's connect the app. Let's see, what am I doing? And 34.5, thereabouts. So good, fully charged wheels. First time this has happened on this Commander Pro. Okay, what have we learned with this experiment? Well, one thing, your charger might be outputting a slightly low voltage, which this charger was actually 133.8, but I do have other chargers that put out 134.4, I know. And of course, I have the Roger charger, so I can definitely get the voltage I need. That's one thing. We also learned that the power distribution board is limiting the voltage that's going to get into the batteries no matter what input voltage you put into the wheel. Now, there's really two fixes for this. One is you can replace the power distribution board with one that doesn't limit the voltage, and that's going to involve, well, keep an eye on my channel. I'll have another upcoming video which will show that option, and not only for the extreme bowl but for basically any, because by the way, everything inside here is from Begode, so any Begode wheel, current Begode wheel, is going to have this, potentially this problem. So you can replace that with a solution, upcoming solution I'll have. Begode might, who knows, if we pressure them, they might give us better electronics that won't siphon away some of that voltage. Another option is actually to kind of do what I've done here with wiring. You could bypass the power distribution board and basically put a splitter on this cable and wire it directly to the charge ports, so that when you're charging, you would be bypassing the power distribution board. Personally, I wouldn't have a problem with that, and I know some of you out there also wouldn't have a problem going with that solution. I know for a lot of you guys, it's a don't care, because what's it matter? You're not. Some of you only you go on 30-mile rides, and that's a long ride for you. But I know there are a bunch of you out there who take your wheels down to you squeeze out the very last kilometer or a mile from your wheel, and for that you might want to consider that. Either doing a wiring harness change or updating your power distribution board. All right, guys, hope this video was entertaining, perhaps useful, and until next time, safe riding.